Good afternoon. The faculty and staff of Carnegie Institute present the graduating class of 2024, our 77th anniversary class. Welcome, graduates. In keeping with the solemnity of this occasion, we will open our program with an invocation by Pastor Robert Holt from Lake Point Church in Oxford to ask for God's blessings on our graduates and the medical services that they are now ready to perform. Please rise for the invocation.
Would you bow your heads with me, please? God, we thank you for this very special occasion today. We thank you for the long and prestigious history and work of the Carnegie Institute as they celebrate 77 years of service. We would ask your blessing upon each graduating student today who has worked diligently to complete their course of education and have come now to receive the recognition for their efforts. May the knowledge each one has acquired translate into the action that will help to continue bringing health and healing to those in need. We ask it in your name. Amen. You may be seated.
Thank you, Pastor Holt, for those wonderful words of inspiration and guidance. To extend our formal welcome to our 77th annual anniversary commencement is Natalie Afonso, BS, MLS, a graduate of Michigan State University. She is the director of the Medical Laboratory Sciences at Carnegie Institute and an instructor in the Electro-Neurodiagnostics program and our Medical Assistant program.
Graduates, families, friends, and guests, on behalf of the Carnegie faculty and staff It is an honor to welcome you to Carnegie Institute's 77th Annual Commencement Exercises. Graduates, we are all here today to celebrate your tremendous accomplishments and to recognize your hard work and dedication. We would also like to take this opportunity to acknowledge and thank your family and friends who have supported your educational goals. They have also done a terrific job. Today, each one of you becomes a member of a very elite group of healthcare professionals called Carnegie graduates. You became a member of this group by working hard, studying, passing tests, performing checkoffs and competencies, and believing that above all else, you would achieve your goals. And here you are, completing the last piece of that goal. Your success and membership in this elite group is a privilege you have earned. President Dwight D. Eisenhower once said that success is a journey, not a destination. Your educational journey at Carnegie has resulted in personal and professional growth that will help shape your future, a future that you have the power to create. Be very proud of your accomplishments that we are celebrating today. Let them always remind you that you have what it takes to be successful and fulfill your dreams. Don't ever lower your expectations, but rather raise the bar for yourself and your profession. As you enter the field of allied health, technology is expanding at an incredible pace. Medical advances are happening every day. New drugs, new procedures and treatments, state-of-the-art equipment, advances in computer technology, and electronic transmission. Each of you has been given the skills to tap into and use this technology, administrative, clinical, or therapeutic bodywork. Alongside the complex technology, there are more and more natural approaches to health and wellness and treatment of disease. Patients have more choices and options than ever before, and although that's a wonderful thing, making choices can be confusing and overwhelming, especially when you are already sick. Patients will count on you to be informed and knowledgeable. As a healthcare professional and Carnegie graduate, you now have a responsibility to keep yourselves current and never stop learning new things. The healthcare environment requires solid organizational skills. All of you will be managing patients, juggling schedules, enforcing rules and policies, making decisions. Patients need to receive quality care and feel safe. You will be a part of a team that maintains an environment of comfort and safety. As a healthcare professional and Carnegie graduate, you now have a responsibility to perform your jobs with the greatest care and accuracy. As healthcare professionals, we are often called upon by our patients to be a source of hope. They look to us for a sense of peace when their worlds are turned upside down by a condition or diagnosis. They need to know that when we look at them, we see a person and not just a body to be poked and prodded, and that when they talk, we are listening. You already know that positive attitudes are critical in healthcare, and you already know that some days maintaining a positive attitude is a challenge. Never lose your desire to support and encourage hope and spirit in your patients and the people you work with. You have the responsibility to remember that attitude is a choice. And Carnegie graduates choose positive attitudes always. Each one of you has probably found a strength you didn't know you had to keep going and not lose sight of your goal. You have all reached deep inside yourselves and pulled out your best in order to get here today. Your spirit is the core of the person you are and the professional you have become. It will touch people and be an important part of the care you provide. You came to Carnegie Institute because you wanted to qualify for a career that provides satisfaction and challenge. You wanted the tools you'd need to be successful in this industry. Well, now you have them. As you step into your new role as an allied health professional, you take on the spirit of the medical profession. Use your knowledge and skills with competence and accuracy. Appreciate your education and never stop learning. Always be professional and inspire others to do their best. And don't ever forget, you are and always will be a Carnegie graduate. We are very proud. We are very proud of your achievements and wish you the very best and a future that's bright and rewarding. Congratulations!
Gotta lower this a tad. Thank you so much, Dudley. It was beautiful. Welcome to our commencement. At this time, it is my privilege to introduce this year's distinguished commencement speaker, Dr. Jeffrey Miller, MD. Dr. Jeffrey Miller, medical doctor, who initially specialized in interventional neuroradiology, performed his fellowship at Beaumont Hospital, Royal Oak. He earned his degree as a medical doctor at Wayne State University School of Medicine with high distinction. Dr. Miller served as co-director of the Department of Vascular and Interventional Radiology until 2006 at Oakwood Hospital Medical Center. In 2006, Dr. Miller became founder and owner of Miller Vein, which now has 6 locations. He specializes in the diagnosis and treatment of venous disorders and diseases. Dr. Miller is beloved by his patients and staff, and notably, Miller Vein was recognized with an award by Crane Detroit Business as the coolest place to work. Several years. Dr. Miller has provided professional presentation for events too many to count in venous health and disease. Carnegie Institute is proud to participate in an educational partnership with Dr. Miller. Miller Vein has recently hired a graduate from our vascular technologist program and participates in our clinical externship as well. He is also a member of our medical advisory board. We are proud and honored to have him as our 77th anniversary commencement speaker. Please join us in welcoming Dr. Jeffrey Miller.
All right, first, a big round of applause for the graduates. So I'd like to first thank Bonnie Normile for inviting me and for all the time and effort she puts into making Carnegie Institute great. So round of applause for Mrs. Normile. And it's my understanding we have a bunch of Carnegie instructors and administrators here today. If I could ask them to please stand up, and can we give them a huge round of applause? Hey, you know what? Everybody, everybody stand up. Standing ovation. Come on, guys. If you can stand. Huge round of applause. Yeah. All right, so secretly, I've always wanted a standing ovation. I'll take it any way I can. All right. So you are at an amazing learning institution, and I speak from direct experience. As Mrs. Normile just mentioned, one of Carnegie's recent grads, Annie Ashraf, is now a registered vascular technologist at Miller Vane, and she's doing amazing work. She's a great RVT. But more importantly, she has an infectious, positive attitude. She's loved by her teammates and patients alike. So thank you, Carnegie Institute, for training such wonderful people. You know, I just recently learned that graduating students at Carnegie have extern privileges at more than 300 medical facilities, most importantly, Miller Vane, and rotations at a bunch of hospitals. Carnegie Institute is an amazing learning institution. So one of my all-time favorite quotes comes from the famous author and speaker Zig Ziglar. And he once said, "You can have everything in life you want if you just help enough other people get what they want." And you are all going into a profession where you get to help people. I will tell you personally, allied health professionals are very important to me. In fact, over half of my leadership team is comprised of individuals who started their career as medical assistants. My director of operations, hey Shannon, who oversees our entire company, she began her career as a CMA. Our director of IT and finance, our director of HR, they also were medical assistants. So it's really, truly an honor to speak with you today. And admittedly, and this is going to sound silly, but it really is true, I thought this is going to be really easy because I thought I'm going to have great content, immediate content, because I figured that the Carnegie Institute was named after one of the famous Carnegies, like Dale Carnegie. His book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, one of the very first books of its kind, and I'll be honest, it set me on a course of lifelong learning. It's not that Carnegie. So maybe it was Andrew Carnegie, you know, the famous Scottish-American industrialist and philanthropist whose secrets of success in the steel industry were outlined in the famous book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Not that one. I read that book too, so I thought, oh, well. So I don't know which Carnegie the Institute was named after, but I will tell you this. The world is a better place because of Carnegie Institute. The world is a better place because of allied health professionals. A round of applause again for you guys. You do work that matters. My wish for you is that you wake up every morning and you never say, I gotta go to work, but rather, yes, I get to go to work. Do you see the difference? And I believe the secret for all of you in achieving this is following a very simple message that I told my daughters when they were growing up. I told them this every morning that I had the opportunity to drop them off at school. Now, my daughters now are in college. I was tickled pink when I was speaking with my youngest daughter on the phone. And as her roommate was leaving her apartment for class, she yelled to her roommate this simple phrase. Do you want to hear it? All right, cool. Laugh a lot, learn a lot, smile a lot. And I told you it was simple. All right, show of hands. How many of you have ever laughed? Can I see a show of hands? All right, let's go one step further. Everybody laugh. Come on, laugh. Wow. All right, you know, that sounded like a phony laugh, but I'm still digging it. All right, now here's the thing. When you are laughing, you're in the moment. You are present. You're not worried about replying to emails, how early you have to get to work tomorrow, or maybe even that difficult patient that yelled at you yesterday. If you're laughing a lot, you're present a lot, and that's so important. And if you want to be successful, you've got to be present. And speaking of success, too many people think that when they achieve a certain degree of success, then they'll finally be happy. I encourage you to flip that around. Be happy first. Don't think that, oh, if I ace the test, if I get the job, if I get the raise, I'll finally be happy, because you're just going to keep moving the goalposts. In fact, research shows that happy people are more likely to become successful, so please remember that. All right, so laugh a lot, learn a lot, smile a lot. You just graduated from Carnegie Institute, and again, congrats on that. But you've got to keep learning. If you really want to help your patients, learn a lot. If you want to grow as a person, make a better life for yourself and your loved ones, learn a lot. And if you want to make the world a better place, learn a lot. There are so many ways to learn. You can learn in the classroom, as you all have done. You can learn on the job. You can read. You can listen to educational materials on the way to work. You can watch TED Talks. We are living in the informational age. It's never been easier to learn. Heck, I learned something sitting in the Minneapolis airport in the Delta Lounge. This gentleman was walking around with a Delta uniform cleaning up after everyone. He had a permanent smile on his face, so we struck up a conversation. And after we were chatting for a while, I told him, you seem like you're just always so happy. And he looked at me with a serious face and he said, pain is inevitable, suffering is a choice. I'm like, whoa, I just learned something. I'm sitting in a Delta Lounge. So, how many of you would like to get a raise? Show of hands. Anybody? You don't want to get a raise? You guys want to get a raise? All right. Well, let me tell you about my friend Eric. He started as a radiology technologist, then got advanced registries in CT and MRI and cardiovascular technology. He was committed to lifelong learning. I would give him all my medical journals after I was done reading them. He had a thirst for knowledge. I was an interventional radiologist in IR in a large hospital system, and I met Eric in our IR suite, where he was a vascular tech. There were several techs in the lab, and if you were to ask them what do they work for, most of them would have said something like $28 an hour. Okay, this was a long time ago, 20 years ago. I know what some of you are probably thinking, 20 years ago? This Miller guy is only like 30. That doesn't make sense, but that's okay. Anyway, so all the other techs, they would have said $28, except for Eric. You know what he would have said? I work to help doctors help patients. Eric had a great attitude. He was one of those people that showed up early every day. He looked for every way possible how he could help his team. You would never hear him say, that's not my job. He loved his work, and it showed. As an aside, he was also paid more than his peers because he made himself so valuable. Eric lived in a tiny house with his wife and 4 kids. Small ranch, small detached garage. The kids shared bedrooms. Today he lives off a lake on a huge piece of property, multiple boats. He's got a 3-car garage and it's attached to the house. He drives a big company car. Most importantly, he loves his job. He continues to do work that matters. So not only did his colleagues, the hospital administrators, and the doctors he worked with notice his work ethic and attitude, but so did the medical device companies that sold us the equipment that we used. So he got recruited by a medical device company and did so well there, he got recruited by another one. Today, he's still helping doctors help patients. He's won multiple awards, and simply put, Eric is winning in life. So you want a raise. Let's assume you show up to work on time every day, you do your assigned work, and you leave at the allotted time. Should you get a raise after a year? Think about it. You made a deal to do a certain amount of work for a certain amount of time for a certain amount of money. If your employer pays you that amount of money, that seems fair, doesn't it? Why should you get paid more? And I'm not talking about cost of living incremental raises. I'm talking about substantive raises. On the other hand, if you're like Eric, if you show up early, if you look for extra work to do when there's nothing to do, if you have a great attitude, then you think you get a raise? My guess is yes. Now, it might not be with the same institution or clinic that you start with, but yes. So if you want to earn more, you need to do more, you have to learn more. And you will have to learn to lead. You need not be a CEO, a president, or a manager to lead. You can always lead. You will have colleagues. What if they go astray? What if they are doing things against your institution? You can get them back on track. Or maybe it's the supervisor that's off track. You can be a leader. Leadership is not a title. The world of healthcare needs more leaders, and I promise you, you will be called upon to lead. And you know what? Say, no what? Glad you asked. Leaders are readers. Graduates, say it with me. Leaders are readers. I didn't hear you. All right, I like it. So, thank you for whoever that was clapping. Thank you. I love you. So, Eric is a reader. Eric is a leader. Show of hands, how many of you have heard of that company called Google? Anyway, okay. So when Larry Page was who is the co-founder of Google, was the CEO, he was asked how he learned to run the company. You know what he said? I love you. He said, be a leader. Or I'm sorry. He said, I read a lot. Talk about blowing the line. So be a leader, be a reader. Eleanor Roosevelt once said, good leaders inspire people to have confidence in their leader. Great leaders inspire people to have confidence in themselves. And isn't that something to strive for? All right, you just graduated. Maybe I have a lot of nerve to assign you all a homework assignment, but I must. I'd like you to read 3 books. For starters, The Success Principles by Jack Canfield, Atomic Habits by James Clear, and The 12 Habits of Valuable Employees by Vern Harnish et al. And then I'd like you to read, watch, or listen to anything Tony Robbins. And as an aside, I am not getting paid by any of these authors to push their books, but I'm really not against that. I can promise you that if you read and apply these principles, which will include placing you on a road to lifelong learning, that there's literally no way you can fail in the game of life. You will learn success principles, and maybe even more importantly, learn to expand your beliefs in what is possible. Michelangelo once said, the greater danger for most of us is not that we aim too high and we miss it, but that it is too low and we reach it. One of the things you will learn in the last book I mentioned is how valuable employees approach their career, and I quote, truly valuable employees understand that they ultimately control their own destinies. Blaming leadership for inadequacies will only hold you back in your career. Part of being valuable is recognizing opportunities and executing ways to win in the toughest of environments. Basically, successful people don't complain. In fact, Dale Carnegie once said, any fool can criticize, complain, and condemn, and most fools do. Notice how I slipped that Carnegie quote into the speech? Pretty good, huh? All right. So, I gave you a reading assignment, and some of you might be thinking, wait a second, I don't have time to read. Well, let me ask you this. Are you on social media? I read that the average young American adult spends 3 hours and 38 minutes per day on social media. I'm sure that doesn't apply to you, but I know you have time to read. We're going to have to go out afterwards. Anyway, so here's what I want you to do right now. I want you to think about your habits, both good and bad. And I have a question for you. Are there any things that you could do over the next week that would make your personal life, professional life, physical and mental health, and family life worse? Raise your hands. Can you think of something that would make all those things worse? Okay, you're all in agreement, right? All right, let me ask you another question. Are there things that you could do over the next week that could make your personal life, professional life, physical, mental health, family life better? Show of hands, please. Okay, I want you to consider this. What you've just told me in less than 60 seconds is that your past and your present state will not dictate your future. You have control over your future. You can read, you can lead, you can develop success habits. Laugh a lot, learn a lot, smile a lot. What do you do when you're absolutely content with life? You smile a lot. Smiling is the ultimate expression of being content, perhaps after you've accomplished something great, or you're thinking about the time that you spent with a loved one, maybe a first date or a new puppy. This is what I'll call reactive smiling, but smiling can also be proactive. And that's my suggestion. In other words, I recommend using smiling as a tool that's going to help make you all feel better. And let's do another test. Can everybody smile? Do me a favor, smile. Go ahead. Everybody smile. I can't really see. All right, raise your hand if that made you feel worse. All right, it made you feel worse? I got you. Oh, you were forcing a smile. All right. All right, so not only can smiling make you feel better, but it'll make everybody you interact with feel better. Think about when you're about to greet a patient. How could you put that patient at ease? You smile. Not only will it put your patient at ease, but you're actually going to also feel better, and science proves it. All right, I don't want to see a show of hands on this one, but how many of you ever worked with a coworker that never, ever smiles? What happens when you ask them, hey, hi, how are you? You'll get something like, oh, so-so, fine, okay. Or the classic, hanging in there. They are the same people that do this. Next patient, photo ID, insurance card, sign here, with a scowl. Are you excited to interact with that person? No. So, what if somebody asks you how you are? What if you smiled and said, excellent, fantastic, awesome, or great? Wouldn't the person that you're speaking with be happier to chat with you? Wouldn't you be happier? Listen, smiling, being friendly, having a positive attitude will not only make you a great coworker, but you will deliver way better patient care. And isn't that what this is all about? All right, so many of you have probably faced many immense personal challenges. And going into healthcare, you will witness tremendous suffering. I can promise you that you will face challenges, both personal and professional. I'm not here to tell you that a positive attitude will just fix everything, but I can promise you that a positive attitude will help. And I'll wrap this up by telling you the story of a patient I know who possesses such an attitude, and his story is instructive. One of his favorite quotes is by Napoleon Hill, who said, every adversity, every failure, every heartache carries with it the seed of an equal or greater benefit. He was diagnosed with Crohn's disease in his 20s, and as the years went on, he got sicker and sicker. Hospitalizations became more and more frequent. He maintained a positive attitude despite that, and things got so bad in 2019, he actually started doing succession planning and making sure his affairs were in order. He was sick. In 2020, he was so sick, he lost over 30 pounds. He was basically skin and bones. He looked terrible. He couldn't barely walk a block. In 2022, he underwent major colon surgery, and since then, he's made an incredible recovery. He's run a half marathon with his oldest daughter. He plans on running a full marathon in the near future, and he works out nearly every day. And the reason I share this story with you is that he believes there are two major reasons he was able to get through those dark periods. One was his own positive attitude, but the other was the kind, caring, and compassionate people that spent the most time with him in the hospital, and that would be the allied health professionals. Allied health professionals really made a huge impact. And he's thankful to be standing before you today, giving this commencement speech, encouraging you to laugh a lot, learn a lot, and smile a lot. Thank you.
Well, I just think we all got a master class in the power of positive choices. Thank you so much, Dr. Miller. That was amazing and funny and relevant and meaningful, and I know that it gave a lasting impression for for our graduates, lots to think about and remember. So thank you so much for being with us today. We are fortunate to have a gifted musician with us over there, Christopher Holt, who played the Pomp and Circumstance when you walked in so beautifully at the beginning of the ceremony. At this point, we're going to have a few moments of a nice musical treasure as we prepare the diploma scrolls for you walking across the stage. So thank you, Chris, for being here, and enjoy his musical interlude. That was beautiful. Thank you, Chris. And now we come to the highlight of every graduation exercise, which all graduates look forward to with anticipation and hope, the presentation of the diploma scrolls. The actual diplomas will not be presented at this time because fourth quarter exams were just completed in the last few days, and we are still tabulating final grades. The graduates will receive their diploma in the near future. So graduates, get ready to walk across the stage. Miriam M. Alsamani. Kayla C. Bryant. Charlene R. Burns. Mackenzie Kehoe. Marina I. Shabo. Bria N. Thomas.
And now, the graduates of our evening medical assistant program.
Tiana S. Bibbs. Alma Hoxalari. Julieta Miro, graduating with honor and the recipient of the Carnegie Scholastic Award. This, yeah. This award is presented to the graduate with the highest scholastic average and performance in all areas of our curriculum. This individual should also be well-rounded in her skills and performance and should exemplify those qualities most sought after, excuse me, in the medical field. Congratulations, Julieta.
And now, the graduates of our massage therapy program.
Give the card. That's okay. Vincent Finazzo. Logan H. Horner.
And now, the graduates of our cardiology technician program.
Juanita G. McVeigh. Kiwante Wallace.
Ready? And now, the graduates of our cardiovascular technologist program.
Ala A. Al-Rafai. Dima Basma. Alexander M. Canning. Marcella Sita. Naomi D. Kosiuba. Yelinka D. Floria, graduating with honor and recipient of the Carnegie Scholastic Award. Violetta Gotage. Vitaly Gusev. Linda Haddad. Ivy Ivy R. Kwiatkowski. Nermeen M. Nakla, graduating with honor. Naveen M. Shabo.
And now, the graduates of our Cardiac Electrophysiology Technologist program.
Just kind of waiting for that to clear. That's okay. Rawad S. Abani. Nasser A. El Asmaili, graduating with honor and recipient of the Carnegie Scholastic Award. Connie Arnold. Nicole E. Goldstein, graduating with honor. Kimberly A. Masek, graduating with honor. Jensilla Tashi, graduating with honor and recipient of the Carnegie Scholastic Award.
And now, the graduate of our Invasive Cardiovascular Technologist program.
Rafal Mukhtar. We'll bring Nasser up one more time. He's also graduating from the invasive program, Nasser A. Al Asmaili, and as I mentioned before, he's the graduate with the Carnegie Scholastic Award for this one. Thank you.
And now, the graduate of our Pacemaker ICD Technician program.
Oltiana Bardo, graduating with honor.
And now, the graduates of our Vascular Technologist program.
Diana Boryu. Martha Q. Destiny I. Allen. Bailey A. Carre. And Mary Buttress.
And now, the graduates of our Electoral Neurodiagnostic Technologist program.
Aya Awada. Nermina Begich. Manal Shami. Sydney D. Clymer. Florida Haka, graduating with honors. Sydney S. Hill. Jermeen Mansour, graduating with honor. Justin A. Palucci, graduating with honors and is the recipient of the Scholastic Award. Nadine Ramo. Christian M. Pryor, graduating with honors. Vittori Vila.
Let's give a big round of applause to all of our graduates. Nice job, everybody. Hope you enjoy that accomplishment. It's wonderful. It gives me great pleasure to now introduce Bonnie Normile, our Director of Education, who is going to share a few words.
For many years, it has been a Carnegie Institute tradition during commencement to recognize the outstanding achievement of one of our graduates. We have recognized our award recipients for their traditional roles, and we have given special recognition to those who have extended their career options. They have achieved outstanding performance in clinical, administrative, and specialty areas. And the most important thing is they all received their most important head start at Carnegie Institute. Today, we have the pleasure of presenting the Carnegie Institute Outstanding Alumna Award to a very special graduate, Mrs. Amanda Henry, RVT, Registered Vascular Technologist. Amanda Henry's educational journey began at Carnegie Institute in 2009, and she graduated from the Vascular Technologist program in 2011. While attending Carnegie, Amanda worked full-time in healthcare in addition to raising her child. Using her general education credits from both Michigan State University and Oakland University, she decided to change her educational career path and searched for a program that would allow for her to have a lifestyle change. During Amanda's previous healthcare experience, she became aware of her love in diagnostic studies and procedures. Research led her to the field of vascular diagnostics, which in turn led her to the JRC CVT accredited vascular technology program at Carnegie Institute. It became clear to Amanda that the vascular technologist program was the right choice. She excelled in the vascular program, earning high academic honor, and was the recipient of the Carnegie Scholastic Award. Prior to graduating in 2011, Amanda completed her clinical rotation at Detroit Medical Center Harper Hospital, focusing on the 4 modalities of vascular technology. Following the completion of all program requirements, Amanda accepted a position as lead vascular technologist at Michigan Neurology Associates in Clinton Township. Amanda applied her skills in the performance of vascular ultrasound, upper and lower venous and arterial scanning, cerebrovascular scanning, and the application of transcranial Doppler, which is the use of ultrasound in imaging blood vessels and blood flow to the brain. Recognizing this natural ability, Amanda's employer sent her for advanced training in transcranial Doppler to Miami, Florida. In her role as lead technologist at Michigan Neurology Associates, Amanda then created ultrasound templates and protocols for all vascular ultrasound procedures. A new career opportunity became available for Amanda at DMC Sinai Grace Hospital in Detroit. Currently, Amanda performs inpatient and outpatient vascular ultrasound, including transcranial Doppler and other vascular studies. Amanda understands firsthand the critical contributions of vascular ultrasound studies in the prevention of complications of diabetes, strokes, pulmonary emboli, DVTs, carotid occlusions, and peripheral arterial disease, and the essential role the vascular technologist plays in the specialty of healthcare. We are fortunate to have Amanda come back to Carnegie in the classroom to provide guest lectures on transcranial Doppler, its studies, and clinical application. She does this for both our vascular technology students and our ENDT, electroneurodiagnostic technologist students. Our students benefit from her experience in the field and the theory and practical applications she presents. We are proud to be able to call her a Carnegie Institute graduate and celebrate her 13 years of professional accomplishments at our 77th commencement exercise. Carnegie graduates and guests, it gives us distinct pleasure to present this year's Outstanding Alumna Award to Mrs. Amanda Henry.
We will now have the recitation of the Code of Ethics. The recitation of the code will be recited by both graduates and our faculty members. And graduates, it is printed in the back of your program. So if you look on the inside of that back page, I'm going to ask you to stand up. Faculty is going to go over by the microphone, and the rest of them are going to stand up on the stage here. This is an important piece of graduation. Raise your right hand. This is your code. Yeah, make sure it's your right hand. And we're going to recite this code together. I do solemnly pledge that in the performance of my duties as a medical associate, I will endeavor to serve the medical profession with utmost dignity and proficiency, utilizing my training and technical skills to the best of my ability. I shall never attempt to make or suggest a diagnosis under any circumstances. I shall not discuss or divulge any information regarding the case history, diagnosis, or laboratory findings of any patient other than members of the staff assigned to care for that particular patient. I will extend courtesy and cooperation at all times to all members of any medical, surgical, or laboratory staff. I will observe the golden rule, abide by it, and remember that I am serving humanity, not myself. And finally, realizing that any violation of this code of ethics will bring discredit not only to our own society, but to the medical profession as well. I hereby pledge to do my utmost to maintain the high standards which have always been associated with the practice of medicine and its related fields. Nice job, graduates. You're official now. Again, I'd like to introduce Bonnie Normeiler, Director of Education.
My thanks to all who contributed their talents and skill in making this commencement exercise a day to remember. You have heard and hopefully felt the message that we are conveying today. This is about the commitment of Carnegie Institute to the attainment of a goal. That goal is for you to be the finest and most passionate healthcare professional possible. I want to thank the administration, staff, and faculty for their tremendous performance, truly the best. And may I extend my personal congratulations to you, the graduate. Carry with you the spirit and passion of Carnegie Institute always. Give yourself and your skills to your patients always. Maintain your professionalism and compassion always. Good luck, Godspeed, and remember, hold your head high with confidence and pride. You are a Carnegie graduate.
We're very excited for all of you. We will now bring our commencement ceremony to a close with a benediction from Pastor Holt. Following the benediction, guests, we ask that you remain seated while the graduates process out. Thank you, and thank you for being here today.
And now may the God of peace, who comforts us when we suffer, give us the grace, the love, and determination to bring comfort to others when they suffer. And may the use of our knowledge, skills, and abilities cause the world around us to be a healthier and more wholesome place for everyone to live.